So let's talk about what's in my wallet going into Q4 2022. I've certainly made a couple changes from last quarter in order to really optimize the value I'm getting from my cards while maintaining a relatively slim wallet. First of all, I'm still using my Nomatic minimalist wallet, which holds anywhere from 4 to 15 cards. The main thing I like about this wallet is the pull tab, which reveals my most used cards. The nice thing about this feature is it allows me to be able to grab a card that I want without fumbling around with it like I'm on some 2 a.m. infomercial. First things first is my catch-all card, which I currently use the Fidelity Rewards Visa Signature for. Now, I've had this card for a few years. It's straightforward, has no annual fee, and gets me 2% back on every purchase. And if you're heavily invested into Fidelity and you're eligible for Fidelity Rewards Plus, your 2% cashback can turn into 2.25% to 3% cashback. And this is similar to Bank of America's Preferred Rewards program, but there is a significant barrier of entry to unlock these higher tier rewards. And on top of the 2%, Fidelity sends me emails once in a while for additional cashback offers that you can earn from certain spend. Now, the biggest downside I've found the Fidelity Rewards Visa to have are the redemption options. You must redeem your cashback into a Fidelity account, so unless you already have one or you don't mind opening one up, getting a more flexible flat rate card would likely be a better bet for you. And before we talk about how I'm getting 10% back at the gas station for this quarter, let's talk about the next card in my wallet, which is the Chase Sapphire Preferred. The primary reason this card is physically in my wallet is because I use it for dining out or getting takeout. Since this card gets me an effective dining value of around 4% back, this is my go-to card for any restaurant-related spend. I also use the Chase Sapphire Preferred to get around 4% back on streaming services, which for me is currently just Netflix. And I'm currently on season 5 of Better Call Saul, and it's starting to get pretty good. Since I'll be finishing it up in the next few weeks or so, let me know, what's your favorite show? Now, the Chase Sapphire Preferred gets 3x points in the categories I just talked about, but if you're interested in unlocking the maximum value from this card, I cover it more in depth in a prior video. So I like that this card also gets me additional travel benefits, but I don't have any trips planned yet for this quarter. I'm hoping to take a weekend trip before the calendar year ends so that I can take advantage of the $50 hotel credit that this card offers. And another really important reason I hold this card is so that I can transfer the points I earn from my OG Chase Freedom in order to get a higher cent per point valuation. If I only had the Freedom card by itself, I'd simply be getting 1 cent per point. But since I can transfer those points to the Sapphire Preferred, I can get an additional 25 to 50% more value from them. And yeah, this card does have a $95 annual fee, but the ability to increase the value of your Chase Ultimate Rewards points combined with the travel benefits you'll get make this annual fee easily worth it. Now, while other people tend to use an Amex Gold, Amex Blue Cash Preferred, or even the Citi Custom Cash for grocery store purchases, I'm currently using the Verizon Visa. And while the effective value I get from this card may not be quite as much as other cards, this card ticks a lot of boxes and it easily earns a spot in my wallet. The primary reason this card's in my wallet this quarter is for trips to the grocery store. But this card offers elevated rewards in other categories, such as 4% back on gas purchases, 3% back on dining, and 2% back on Verizon purchases. And I also use this card to pay my wireless bill, as it gets me a $10 monthly discount plus 2% back. The only downside here is that this card doesn't offer cell phone protection. And there certainly are cards that provide excellent cell phone protection benefits, but since I tend to take care of my phones, I prefer to get the guaranteed monthly discount combined with the cash back. And the really cool thing about the Verizon Visa is it has no annual fee, and better yet, it has no foreign transaction fees. So needless to say, this is my go-to card for grocery and gas purchases when traveling internationally. And since it's a Visa, it's accepted almost everywhere. But if you're oogling over the value this card can provide you, you must know that in order to be eligible for this card, you'll have to be a Verizon wireless customer. So I apologize if I just burst your bubble, but now, a fairly significant change to my wallet for Q4 in particular is that I'm taking my Abound Credit Union Platinum Visa that I dearly love and gently placing it in my drawer. And that's because a card that literally never sees the light of day, as its permanent home is within the fathoms of my dusty desk drawer, is coming out to play. And that card, my friend, is the Amazon Prime Rewards Visa Signature card. Now, I've had this card for years and I use it all the time. just not in its physical form like it'll be used this quarter. And that's because Chase is offering 10% back at gas stations until December 31st, 2022. Sure, this is capped at $1,500 worth of gas station spend, but since my wife and I only really spend around $200 to $250 per month on gas, actually reaching that spend limit will be highly unlikely. Unless, and it's a big unless I can find a gas station where the attached store also codes as a gas station. If I do find one of those stores, I'll then need to see if they actually sell anything I need. Now, I certainly don't want a quarterly cashback bonus to impact the amount of money I spend because, well, if I do, Dave Ramsey's gonna show up at my door and start calling me names. And I don't want that because then my dogs are gonna start losing their minds and it's gonna be a whole big ordeal. But if the gas station happens to sell, I don't know, gift cards for stores that I regularly shop at, that could be a great use of this 10% cashback offer. We'll see. The instant I get the Chase Freedom Unlimited, this card is going into the deepest part of my drawer so I don't have to look at it anymore. But for this quarter, it's staying in my wallet for the sole purpose of paying for my bi-weekly Costco trips. And this is the Costco Anywhere Visa card by Citi. Now mind you, it is a decent card. It'll get you 4% cash back at gas stations and EV charging stations worldwide with no annual fee and no foreign transaction fees. And you don't really see elevated rewards on EV charging too often, so that's pretty neat. But I really only use this card at Costco. Not even Costco Gas, since, well, I have an unlimited 5% gas station card with the Bound Credit Union, and my Costco doesn't even have a gas station. But a slightly convenient thing about this card is that the Costco cashier can actually scan the back of it during checkout in order to bring up my account. Now, if I didn't have this credit card in my wallet, I'd either have to physically have my Costco membership card, or I'd have to have my Costco app on my iPhone in order to pull up my membership code. But the inconvenient thing about this card is the cashback is paid out annually, and you have to physically go into the store in order to redeem it. Ew. So I'm expecting to replace this card with the Chase Freedom Unlimited once I'm out of Chase 524 lockup come December. This way I'll get unlimited 1.5% back in the form of Chase Ultimate Rewards points, which in reality should get me around 2.25% back in value since I'll be combining it with my Chase Sapphire Preferred. With that said, I'll continue to keep my Costco Citi card open since it has no annual fee. Now there's two cards I have in my digital wallet. The first is the OG Chase Freedom Card. Since Q4 2022 gets me 5x Chase Ultimate Rewards points at Walmart and PayPal, this is gonna be my go-to card for literally any purchase I can make using PayPal. And it's super rare that I visit Walmart, but if I do, I'll certainly stick this card in my physical wallet so that I can get 5x points on whatever I buy there. And I make sure to take advantage of the PayPal quarter because I'm confident I'll be able to max that $1,500 worth of spend in order to get a total of 7,500 Chase Ultimate Rewards points. With the holidays coming up, my wife and I have already begun buying gifts for friends and family, so that, combined with our personal spend, may quickly exceed the $1,500 cap. And the really lucrative thing about getting 5x points with this card is that I can transfer them to my Sapphire Preferred, where I can get a minimum 1.25 to 1.5 cents per point. This means the elevated 5x points from my OG Freedom Card can be worth 7.5% back, or even higher depending on which of Chase's travel partners I transfer my points to. But then if I'm out shopping at a physical store who accepts digital wallets, I'll use my Discover It card, which I have loaded in my Apple Wallet. Now, I literally just got an iPhone for the first time in my life after using Android phones. After using Android phones for the past 15 or so years. So needless to say, I may be standing at the cash register fumbling with my phone as I figure out how to use Apple Pay. But since the Discover It card gets me 5% cash back with digital wallets for this quarter, it's a nice fallback to have. And I've successfully used it with Apple Pay twice so far this month. And I'd really recommend the Discover It to anyone getting into the credit card game. It has 5% cash back in rotating quarterly categories, it has no annual fee, and Discover usually has a nice little sign-up bonus. The sign-up bonus in my referral link down below is for $100 cash back after you make your first purchase of any amount, but there's an even better sign-up bonus out there if you're planning to spend a decent amount of money on this card. And that bonus is an unlimited cashback match. So Discover will match your cash back dollar for dollar for the entire first year that you've had this card. This means you can get a whopping 10% back. Since the 5% rotating spend limit is $1,500 per quarter, that means you can earn $75 in cash back each quarter or $300 for the year. If you get the cashback match, this $300 can turn into $600. Not a bad deal, but obviously only if you can take advantage of their quarterly categories. Now going forward, I do plan on making some changes to my setup, including getting the Chase Freedom Unlimited later this year, depending on what the sign-up bonus is looking like. The Freedom Unlimited would replace my Fidelity Rewards Visa Signature and also my Costco Citi card. And by doing this, it would make it so my rewards are a bit more consolidated, since I'll then have 3 cards earning Chase Ultimate Rewards points. The Chase Trifecta. I'd also really like to open a Citi Custom Cash since it'll get me a straightforward 5% back. I haven't exactly decided which category I'd use it for, but I know it's definitely a card I'd get some real value from. And in this video, I talk about one of my favorite Chase cards that I think you could really benefit from.